What it
I ain't
do,
gonna
champ?
move. I
He
ain't
said
gonna
I ain't gonna
move.
move.
Oh, what's going on, champ? Thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure to have you on here, man. And
He froze.
he
No, I'm just playing.
froze.
Oh,
Oh
stop
shit.
bullshit. Stop bullshit.
What's
God
going on,
damn.
fellas?
Nothing, man. Glad to have you on the
Listen,
show, man.
let me
Glad
say
to
this
have you
real
on the
quick,
show.
and then we'll get going. I spaced out. I'm over here at my dad's house right now, finna walk in, and the Wi-Fi then clicked on to his Wi-Fi and everything, and I messed up. I don't want to do the interview in the house, like you know what I mean. Like I hate when people listen while doing interviews,
Now I hear you.
Mhm.
like you know what I mean, especially when they can't hear the conversation and they like, hey, you know. So I figure I stay out here and do this one. But with that being said, I'm 100% gonna come on. I'll make sure next time I'm all the way set and ready for y'all.
That's what's up,
Oh,
man. We
thank you.
appreciate that. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Yeah,
Thank
that,
you.
man. But we know you pressing for time, man. So we just gonna get right into it, man.
let's go.
This weekend fight, bro. I know I already heard you. You're not finna argue the point of Terrence and Bud, so I'm not finna even put you in that ringer,
Right.
right? I got a question about the fight. Now, I've been debating this for a minute. When Errol got hit and ran to them ropes, wouldn't that be considered a knockdown?
It was considered. It should have been considered a knockdown. In the moment, there's a lot going on, and we are human. And when you have a time, when you have a second to really digest everything that went on, I think the ref was caught up between protecting Errol, making sure Errol protected himself, and making sure that the ref was making sure he didn't do anything to get in the way of what was going to happen. And the ref, missed a step. the
Right.
the fighter the fighter got hit and fell into the ropes, and that is supposed to be considered a knockdown. You know what I mean? So, as kind of, as a fight fan scoring the fight, I did count that as a 10-8 round, even though the ref did not score that as a knockdown. I do believe that any judge that is doing the right thing is supposed to say, hey, the ref missed it, but this is what it's really supposed to be.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Look,
go ahead.
I got a question. Like I'm a veteran. So whenever I watch movies like, all these little army flicks, 12 rounds, and all these different type of things, it gets me going like, man, I want to get back into this. I want to get back. Did that fight make you want to put them gloves back on and go to war?
No, I think people think I be lying, but the crowd made me want to put the gloves back on and get back in the ring. But
Okay.
man, it really ain't too much that I'm interested in about getting hit or making somebody miss and making somebody pay no more. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm just ready to do some different things with my life and move forward. You know what I mean?
All right.
So speaking on different things, man, what's some things you like? We see you out. You had already jumped into the broadcasting and all that stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. And shout out to the podcast. The podcast lit.
Thank
Real
you.
talk was lit.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? But what are some other things that you got on your list?
Yeah, let me real quick. 2020, the pandemic happens, and so I went out and got a whole bunch of equipment, expecting that Fox was going to continue the Inside PBC show from our homes.
Mm-hmm.
And when they didn't do that, I was like, you know what? I got all this equipment. I've been talking about doing the podcast now in my head for a couple of years. No better time to start it than now. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
and I think that everything just kind of it all happened like as it was supposed to. You know what I mean? People look
Mhm.
at me and they see me doing the commentary and the analytical work on TV, and of course also the podcast in 2018. But
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't realize that I've been practicing in my mind for years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, beyond 10 years, I've been practicing in my mind. You know what I mean? So y'all are just now getting to see all the reps that I've been putting in my mind as I watch other people do it and listen to other people, and I correct them or I kind of do in my head what I think I would say or do. Y'all are just now seeing this. And so I think a lot of people think that I'm very good at it in a short amount of time, but I've really been dedicated to it without doing it. I doing it, actually doing it for a long time. You know what I mean? So next week, we are going to launch the ABC Amateur Boxing app. That's Amateur Boxing Champions. We have a website and an app for that. That'll be launching next week. And that's basically geared towards giving the amateur boxing system getting more eyes on the amateur boxing system, exposing who the next future champions in the professional ranks are. We all come from the
That's
amateur
dope.
That's
system,
dope.
but y'all never see it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
See,
y'all didn't see me fighting Daniel Jacobs. Y'all didn't see Boots Ennis fighting and I think it's Antonio Russell, one of the Russell brothers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Y'all didn't see a lot of these bona fide matchups. Y'all didn't see them in the amateurs. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to really bridge a gap right there and get the boxing fan, the base, to really start following these fighters basically from day one, even though they've been doing it for years, so that y'all can see what's coming next to the professional boxing game.
that's it's interesting that you said that, because all last year, I had, for me, it was just for me, I had a kind of a bad taste in my mouth with the professional realm of boxing.
Mm.
So I was like, you know what? What's the
You said,
purest form of boxing? And that's the amateurs. And
yeah.
here in Kansas City, I didn't know it was a really big amateur scene like it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was starting to figure out, dang, Shakur done been through here. Dang, Tank done been through here. A lot of
I've
people.
been through there.
You done been through here. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like Coach John Brown and all these other people who are instrumental in Kansas City boxing. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hush hush, but I didn't know it was
Right.
a scene like how it is. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
is really cool to shed light on the amateurs. There's a couple of them here right now that I'm following, and I would love to, be able to try to link them with you in a sense to get them onto the scene.
They got to win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
That
know
was
the
my
winner.
Because
that was my question. What's
that
the
that
qualifications of getting on there?
that is the point. In my experience and what I've seen since I've come through the amateur program, usually, not always, but usually,
Mm-hmm.
the top four guys going to that Olympic quad, the
Right.
top four guys are usually the top four guys in the professional ranks that go on to be very successful.
Right.
And so that really is the only qualification. You have to be in the top four in any given tournament for you to be seen. What I want to do is broadcast the semifinals and the finals of these national tournaments, and that's
Okay.
that's where the who's are. And
Yeah.
usually, and I'm gonna be there for these first couple of tournaments. I'll be there through the course of the entire week, because every now and then there's a raw deal, there's a raw decision. Every now and
Mm-hmm.
then somebody actually loses and they're
Right.
really good. And it's like,
Right.
yo, he lost a split decision, but that's a that,
Yeah.
that that's a good fighter.
That's
Let
yep.
let me let me make sure I put him in my notes to watch out for
Mhm.
him. And then if in the next tournament, if he happens to make it, or that next tournament he doesn't happen to make it, but I'm like, yo, he's gonna be a force in the professional scene. Then I will make it a thing to magnify that specific fighter. But the qualification at this point is top four in each division, men and
Mm-hmm.
women, will be highlighted, and we will make it we'll make profiles available for each fighter, highlights available for each fighter, in-depth exclusive interviews from each fighter on the app and the website.
And that's definitely dope because it gives them something more to shoot for. You know, for it's like I be covering the amateurs here in St. Louis or whatever, and I put them up on YouTube. Now that's and they see me, they be like, they know me. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yeah,
Mr. Slick, yo, you recording? Hey, I'm fighting number 7. You know what I'm saying? So they be
yeah.
ready. They be ready. Make sure you will be here. Make sure you be here. So, and I like to see them light up and have something more to aspire to, whatever. Instead of just think this is just something they doing or whatever the
It's a
case may
du-
be.
it's a double-edged sword, because there's a lot of fighters that come through the amateur system. They're very good, but they fall straight to the streets
Right.
because the streets is giving them something that the amateur system can't give them. A lot
Facts.
of us go to Lenexa, Kansas. Who coming to
Okay.
Kansas to watch his fight? We won a
Right.
national tournament and we go home. Don't nobody know about it. We got to
Mm-hmm.
bring people to our house so that they can watch the DVD, old school, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
I
So that they got
understand.
to watch the DVD. But if they don't see the footage, and you just got the medal, they're like,
It
congratulations, you know
didn't
what I mean?
happen.
So it's gonna give these fighters a sense of appreciation, a sense that what they're doing is being recognized. And a lot of these amateurs that turn pro too soon, or a lot of these amateurs that have what it takes to be Olympians but decide to turn pro, are some of our best Olympians turn pro instead of going to the games. Now this
Right.
to give them a reason to stay amateur and live out those amateur dreams that a lot of us always have that sometimes don't get realized.
Right. Also B is in here. He was the winner of the shirt that we gave away. He's in
Congratulations,
here as
B.
well. Yeah, and he has a question. He said, "Could you elaborate on that? Will it be a paid app?"
To start, I do not believe this is going to be a paid app. We launch next week, so obviously we got to make a decision whether or not it's going to be a paid app. I don't know what the all of the system and all that kind of stuff, what that's going to be like. So I'm the idea, and this part, the competition part of the brains, due to my experience and due to what I know is going on right now in the amateur system. I am connected to USA Boxing, and the list goes on. But then
Right.
I got other people that are connected to that website and that app space that are actually creating everything for me.
Okay.
Okay. Well, while we're talking about the amateurs, I've always been under the mindset that I think some of the fighters that are fighting today should have stayed in the amateurs a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard about you fighting Alexander Usyk,
Mm-hmm.
and and if you look at the amateur careers of him, yourself, Lomachenko, and several others, it's well over a plethora of fights.
Yeah,
And I think that gets you a lot more ready for the professional realm. Do you
yeah.
think that more fighters should spend more time in the amateurs?
I know that they changed the amateur system. When I was in the system, it was 4 2-minute rounds, and the scoring system was different. Over the last, I would believe, like maybe 10 to 12 years, they've changed the system back to 3 minute rounds with the 10-9 scoring system, a lot like the pros. So I believe that was just to try to get these fighters more ready to be professional boxers. Excuse me. Beyond that, I do think that your experience is your experience. You want to get as much experience as you can, and you just never know. You know what I mean? You never know when it's time to take that leap into the professional game. Obviously, you want coaches, you want people in your life that can tell you like, "Hey, you're ready. I don't think you need any more amateur fights. I think you need professional experience." But there are some fighters that really need more amateur experience to get ready for the pro ranks.
I
Uh,
hear you. We
Everybody's different though.
we'll love to let us know when it drop, man. We'll love to help you promote it because,
Got it.
like I said, you start speaking on because I sure was gonna ask you what can we do to bring boxing out of the shadows because, like my compadre said, like in Kansas City, it's like underground. Everywhere you go, boxing is like underground. You got to
Again,
know somebody to know where the matches are
yeah,
even being held, or it's not
yeah,
even put out there or on the radio or nothing.
yeah.
You know, and so I
Again,
commend you on that.
another component to this. Think about LeBron James. People heard about
Mm-hmm.
him when he was 16, 17 years old. People have followed LeBron since he was 16 or
Right.
17 years old. Professional boxers, we don't get a true fan until we're 20, 21,
Right.
22,
Right.
till we're 18 and 0. Nowadays
Mm-hmm.
guys are starting to get more of a following when they're closer to 10 and 0 and everything due to social media. But this is another chance for people to get connected to the fighter much sooner than when they turn pro. If you think about it, everybody that you root harder for someone that you feel emotionally
Good attached to.
invested and
Right.
connected to. And
Mm-hmm.
the same thing goes for the amateur system. So I'm trying to grow this so that fighters turn pro with a fan base, so that there's more people connected to the fighter, not just from seeing a fight, but now they know their story, and now they're rooting for them for more reasons than just what they can do in the boxing ring, therefore bringing more fans to and eyes to the professional game as well. So I'm not a genius, but I'm doing the best I can.
That's what's up, man. We know you pressed for time, man, but just one more question, man. How do you feel when, okay, Tank made a comment, shout out to $1 million worth of game, said that he never asked Floyd for the big fights, right? Me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with that, right? Because he is the pay-per-view star. I don't feel like
Yeah.
the pay-per-view star should be calling nobody out. How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, no, I don't. I don't think that the pay-per-view star should be calling out other fighters. But think about EJ. Errol Spence just beat the Zoo guys, and
Right,
he knows that there's no bigger fight in the world for him to be made but the fight with Terrence Crawford.
right,
My man got 3 belts.
right.
Is he supposed to keep his mouth shut about fighting Terrence Crawford?
Oh,
No, he's not.
no. He hunting it, right,
He's
right.
supposed to sell that fight.
That's true.
So even though Tank is a pay-per-view star, he's supposed to still pick out like, okay, who's on my level, who's on my radar, who does everybody want to see me fight.
Mm-hmm.
And once you identify that person, you start talking about it. You start publicizing it, and you start getting people excited to watch you do what you got to do. That's how it's supposed to be done.
I got you.
All right. I have one question before you
Let's
go.
go.
No, he said he had one question and that would be it, but
Yeah.
he don't run me.
I'm going somewhere, Cat. Going somewhere.
All right, man. We got Jahad Tucker out here. We got Dylan Price out here. We got Keyshawn Davis out here, and a bunch of other new little
Shoo.
cats that are, and shoo. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Hey,
Shoo,
man.
huh?
Yeah.
Is boxing in good hands?
Boxing is in good hands. Believe it or not, I actually figured that out when Errol Spence first came onto the mainstream scene when he first started doing Showtime and stuff like that, and everybody was saying, watch out, here comes Errol Spence Jr. These 147-pound fighters need to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Before he came on the scene, I was like, after this generation, I don't know what the next generation is looking like. But then here comes Errol, and right after Errol, I start to see all these other young guys coming up wanting to fire really relatively soon. Lopez and Haney and all those names. And I sat back, I was like, shoot, boxing don't need me. Like
Stop it, bro.
boxing
Stop it.
got some good guys. These guys helped me retire. So if y'all mad at me for retiring, be mad at them.
No, man, you had a great career. I'm always Rand Raven, man. You fought everybody, bro. You fought everybody, man. That's what we like. That's what we like to see.
With y'all, man. I'm gonna get back on with y'all, all right?
All right, for sure.
Hit me up when y'all want me, and I apologize for spacing out on this one.
Okay. Hey, I got one super chat. Who's somebody the champ wish he fought? Yeah. Who's somebody that you wish you fought?
Everybody should know this one. Timothy Bradley.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
shit. Fight one time. I don't even remember. I don't remember what fight it was, but I watched them fight and I was like, I said, yo, that would be a fight right there. That would be a fight right there. And his career went the way that it went. I think I was still a little young in my career to for them to consider that fight. But I really do think that was a fight that the world missed out on.
For sure, man. Well, champ, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. We'll see you soon. Man. Everybody be on the lookout for that app. And be sure to check out the Porter Way podcast.
I'll be looking for you in the next later on this year.
And we coming for you on that paintball too, bro.
Let's get it. If y'all in town, holla.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, bro. Be easy.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Porter, man.